Yeah, Colin, me and James have been in like 4 different bands together.
I think I've only seen one of James's bands. Maybe I don't
Yeah,
know.
that was the shitty one that I wasn't in. James will admit it too!
Oh!
Because I'm the spoon that stirs the fucking pot!
Want to ring the bell?
I'm taking it back. I'm taking them all back.
I have come here to chew bubblegum and kick ass, and I'm all out of bubblegum.
I'm a loner, Daddy. Rebel.
I am the walrus.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to John Hates Movies, the movie review podcast where my friends prevent me from naming my film Killer Mans and instead force me to watch movies. I'm your host, John Barrup, and this week we have with us Eric Largent.
Sally ho.
We have Colin McMillan.
Mermaid.
We have James Barrup.
Hey guys, I'm completely American. It's so great to be American today and just hang out and do America stuff and party in the town all the time.
And we have special guest Todd Meter.
Now we can call it a Toddcast.
Oh!
Puns for last week, Todd.
We're back to sequel time.
Hey, I'm allowed to do that.
That is American joke, right?
We're so totally
Oh,
American.
we are very American.
Oh, hi, mermaid.
Oh, hello.
Hello, mermaid.
Hello.
Oh, hi.
How is the mermaiding?
Do you like a chocolate bar?
You
It only cost me $2.50.
you remember when we were at colleges together in America? My home.
Oh yeah.
You know,
I am from
back
Kansas.
where we are both from. Wait, what is that noise? It reminds me of classic American rock band, Axl Rose Gun.
So, John, what did we watch this week?
For those of you who are curious about what we watched Killer Mermaid. This not rated 90-minute feature.
Yeah,
The
sure.
ratings board wouldn't watch it.
Yes. Two young women go on an exotic Mediterranean vacation and uncover the watery lair of a killer mermaid hidden beneath an abandoned military fortress.
Yes, let's spend spring break under an abandoned military fortress.
For all the cool kids.
That's what Americans do.
So it's starring Franco Nero, Christina Klebe, Natalie Byrne, and is directed by Milan Todorovic.
Todorovich. Famous American director. Todorovich.
Yeah. So this gem was chosen. I would say by Colin McMillan, but it was actually a listener suggestion by a relative of Colin's. So he's still going to take the blame. And Colin, would you like to start us off?
Yes, I would. Before I review the movie, I would like to read something I've prepared for you all.
Okay.
Dear cast of John Hates Movies, I am writing to apologize for the recent unfortunate events involving my choosing Killer Mermaid for a review. It is with deepest regret that I put words to paper today, and I am truly sorry. I could give you some excuse like, I thought it would be funny, or my uncle suggested it, or even, I was temporarily insane. But what would that serve? The damage is done, and no amount of rationalizing can change that. All I can do is come to you, hat in hand, and offer my most humble and honest apology. Forgiveness is neither asked nor expected. I understand what I've done, and it is my cross to bear. I will carry this burden in Jacob Marley-esque fashion until the end of my days, and perhaps beyond. I am so sorry. From Hell's Heart I stab at thee, Colin McMillan.
Apology not accepted.
You had me up until the Moby Dick quote.
Yeah.
Unlike this movie.
Which,
Yeah.
which almost got me there back a little bit, when
But that
the
was at
salty
the
old
end?
sailor. Yeah, like you save the salty old sailor quoting Moby Dick for the last thing that happens. So, I've written an alternate synopsis that more accurately describes Killer Mermaid.
Oh.
Uptight workaholic Kelly and her gal pal Lucy vacation to Montenegro. A rendezvous between Lucy and an old flame quickly becomes complicated, while a budding romance with a local free spirit turns Kelly's ordered, rigid world upside down. Oh, and also there's a Killer Mermaid.
Or is there?
Is there? That's really the question.
Yeah.
Trust me, she's down there
She's
somewhere.
down there somewhere. Like, you can tell from the ominous music and the underwater shots that there's some aquatic menace that will occur at any moment in this movie.
But
and
does the mermaid kill
Yeah.
anybody in this movie?
Two
Yeah.
Yes.
people.
Does she?
she kills Bob. Like,
Were you doing the fucking dishes
No,
while you watched the
I
movie?
wasn't.
like
I
she
don't
kills
remember the mermaid killing anybody.
she kills Bobby De Niro.
Yeah, Bob.
Bomba.
You know, like you Americans
Boban.
say, Bobby De Niro.
Bon.
Nobody says that.
know,
She has a body count of 2.
You-
And hers, she gets the very first kill in the movie. Bald, creepy, Frankenstein-looking son of a bitch. And then,
The guy that looked like Carl Pilkington.
It's 3 because she kills Lucy also.
Oh yeah, you're
Kills
right.
Lucy.
You're right.
She
You're
drags her into the abyss, and she drags Boban, who at that moment just sort of gives up on life for some reason.
Well, he lost a lot of blood.
yes, he did.
It makes you
Okay.
very sleepy.
I was thinking maybe this movie should have been called Killer, Mermaid. Because there was a killer and there was a mermaid.
Yeah, this movie was...
The Odd Couple.
Yes, one's a killer, one's a mermaid. How will they ever get along? I wish that Tom Lennon was doing yoga in this movie. It would have been a lot more amusing. So yes, my uncle suggested Killer Mermaid, and I just thought that was hilarious. I was like, oh, well, yeah, we got to do it because we haven't done like a real stinker in a really long time. So I picked Killer Mermaid, thinking, oh, this is gonna be great, and but so it was really bad.
Mhm.
Was not bad enough to be so bad it's good, though. It was
No.
Nope.
So,
and that's the thing, is like through the first 10 minutes, I was just like I'm laughing at every cheesy line for about the first 10 minutes, and I'm like, oh yeah, haha, this is a cheesy, terrible horror movie. This is so great. But then I realized that it's really only barely a cheesy or like cheesy, terrible horror movie, and I mean, it's not nearly good. It's not like it's almost good. It's very, very far from being good. But Sharknado is so bad that you're really just facepalming like the whole movie, and kind of
Oh, Sharknado revels in it.
exactly.
This did not.
That's
Well,
exactly
no,
what I'm
they
talking
weren't
about.
trying to make a bad movie with this one. That somebody put effort into this.
That yes, which just makes Killer Mermaid profoundly sad.
Right. Yes.
And you know,
yeah.
like I felt bad for like the actors, you know, because they were trying.
Not all the actors.
No, not all the actors. I didn't feel bad for all the actors, but like, but I was watching, and you know, when they're like running around the ruin and everything, and you get to watch Boban go around and sort of like go from goofball comic relief-ish to like, you know, almost like an action hero, and I was like, I think that I would like this guy and this character in a different movie.
I thought he was the standout.
Did you like him? Did you like him on Saturday Night Live when he was one of the wild and crazy guys?
He was a wild and crazy guy.
Yeah, that's
I love
Boban.
those
I
guys.
I like how from his introduction he's just like, look at me, I'm the wild and carefree guy. I'm so different than what you are used to. You know, except he's also like the sort of wise hippie local. Except that he's the one that's like, let's go to the place where people get killed. Why not? It's going to be fun. Hey, I'm a fun guy. Don't you want to hang out with me?
I swim with pitchforks.
Wasn't it funny when I pretended to kill you in the ocean? I'm so crazy.
Wasn't that a clever nod to Jaws?
Yeah, yes. Also, underwater footage.
It was a nod to Jaws.
Yeah. and Jaws pretended that it didn't see and was just sort of like, I don't know that guy. I some crazy dude.
Yeah, just like Jaws did with Jaws 2, 3,
3D.
And yeah.
I had some Topps Jaws 3D trading cards when I was a kid.
So, Killer Mermaid is bad.
I bought them for the gum.
I watched this movie for the gum, and I didn't even fucking get any gum. I don't know. There are things that happen in this movie where I go, okay, that's not a totally shitty idea. Like, at the end of the movie, Captain Pirate sort of explains that the mermaid is a siren from the Greek myths, and I was actually kind of feeling that, except that I'm like, what? Okay, so you got seriously 3 minutes to wrap this up, and you're just dumping all this mythological exposition on us, and you're not even gonna be able to.
Well,
do
yeah,
anything.
no shit, it was a siren. Mermaids don't sing at people. That's a siren
the Little
thing,
Mermaid
right?
sings.
No,
Mermaids sing.
mermaids lure sailors to their deaths
I think
in similar fashion.
I thought
think
that was
you
just
mean
a siren
manatees.
thing.
They don't use their singing; they use their breasts. But it's the same idea.
I'm pretty sure that's also manatees.
Well, if you've been at
Sexy,
sea a long
sexy
time,
manatees.
a manatee is pretty attractive.
True. I mean, if
Full of semen.
Oh no!
So, it's like, oh man, oh, and the mermaid's name was Scylla, which is the name of a Greek monster, which I also thought was cool. I mean, you don't get to hear that name spoken, but it's in the credits.
I didn't
Yes.
know that. From Scylla and Charybdis from the
Yes,
Odyssey.
farty poop wiener butt. But come on, let's not get too highbrow here, Todd. I don't know. Clearly, you're
sorry.
new around here.
I clearly fell into a trap on that one. I didn't mean to give the impression I read any books,
So
but go on.
if
You just
you're,
referenced one.
Well, because it's just you soak that stuff up from being in the culture,
you're
Of course.
Greek?
The Greek culture.
the Greek culture.
Yep.
Yes.
Yeah, I'm more of a Star Wars Greek than a Star Trek Greek. Yeah, okay, if you take interest in mythology or whatever, and, it's like, oh, it's a siren, that's cool, that's neat. I would, if I heard, hey, they made a horror movie about sirens, I would go watch it. That's cool to me. So in the end, you've got, this sort of teaser for Killer Mermaid 2, The Siren Wars, and it's like, dude, I would watch that. You're going to trick me into watching Killer Mermaid 2. It's going to be even shittier than this one, and I'm just going to be standing around like a dope, with my dick in my hand going, what happened to me?
And it'll be called Killer Mermaids.
Yes, because they won't even be imaginative enough to call it the Siren Wars.
But the S will be backwards, and it'll be a 2.
Oh,
It writes itself!
And then Biggs and Legs show up and they're just like, we're gonna die!
We don't even need a script. It's already ready to go. Let's shoot it. Let's go.
Game over, man! Game
Okay, but
over!
if it were me,
There's
Killer
fish
Mermaid 2
everywhere,
would just
man.
be the girl standing 10 feet back from the seaside with the spear, because those things can't do shit when they're on
Yeah,
land.
I mean, why did it even come out of the water to get them? I mean, Killer Mermaid got straight wasted once it came out of the water. It seems like it would probably know that. Oh, I'm gonna get them. I'm gonna get them, so I'm gonna climb out of my natural habitat where I have no mobility and cannot use any of my weapons. Yeah, John alluded to the fact that the primary antagonist in this movie is actually just sort of like a plain Jane, silent, slow-moving stalker killer dude. The mermaid just kind of hangs out for not even most of the movie, because she doesn't even appear until the last quarter. Not much going on for Killer Mermaid. Don't fall into the trap where you're like, I'm going to watch a shitty movie and it's going to be hilarious for its shittiness and choose Killer Mermaid, because you're just going to feel kind of, well, I described it as deeply ambivalent at the end of this. I didn't know how to feel at the end of Killer Mermaid, because if anything, I just felt like a fool. Don't do it.
Blank is how I
Yeah.
felt.
Colin, how many drinks did you have while watching this movie?
Regrettably, my friend, I stayed sober.
That was the problem.
Oh, does it get funnier as it goes on if you drink?
No, but it's more tolerable.
But at the end of it all, at least you were drinking.
Well, right, and it's like doing shots of moonshine. It's like the second one goes down easier than the third. Or wait, no, the other way around.
Well, by all means, Chris, I don't have much.
Whoa!
Oh no! Oh no! So, by the way, sidebar. I just want to say that I really miss my best friend Chris. Not on the show today, and I feel his absence keenly. And
Shut up, Colin. You suck.
Chris, are you
Sorry,
here?
I'm just trying to
I thought.
trying to make it feel.
I think
that
you're
was him.
making Todd feel uncomfortable, Colin. Colin.
Oh no,
I can-
dog.
No,
You're great too.
If it helps, I'm wearing one of Chris's shirts, so I
Right to
kind
me.
of smell like him.
Oh, let's get weird.
Colin, if it helps, I'm wearing it.
All right. Well, I don't have much more to say. Eric.
Yeah, Eric, take us to where we want to be.
What?
To Mermaid Land.
I can't do that. I can't do that for you. All right. Well,
Come on, Eric. You said that you're my vehicle, baby, and you can take me anywhere I want to go.
what's that from?
It's a song.
I thought it was a Christopher Walken quote the way you were talking.
I'm your vehicle, baby. I'll take you anywhere you want to go.
I don't think Christopher Walken drives.
Good
You know,
God, you know that I love you, babe.
I think he's walking.
No,
No, I'm allowed to do that. We'll get to that.
Okay, hey, so guys, guess what?
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 Notes are back!
Yay!
I got some notes for this week's episode. I haven't done that in a while. Oh man, you guys must feel so giddy with excitement, right?
I'm pretty
I know I
stoked, man.
All right. Well, okay. I wrote a few of them, and John, I mentioned before we started rolling that I had written 32 notes. So feel free to cut some of the duds. But listeners, know this. If you hear me go from note number 12 to note number 16, know that 13, 14, and 15 were all shit, and John doesn't think I'm funny. So,
Note 1, Note 32.
okay. Note number 1 is notes are back.
Yay!
Okay, all right. Good job, Eric. Yeah, that's a funny joke. Note number 2. Number 2. In honor of that one dude from the Miller High Life commercials who just bit the dust, I'm drinking some High Life. But I won't pour one out for him because I'm inside and having soggy carpet is no way to live the High Life.
That's true.
Identical to High Life.
Okay, number 3. I hope this movie is just 90 minutes of selfies of Croatians kissing. Note number 4. Yeah, more Croatians kissing. Number 5. Wait, was the mermaid the dude with the treble hook? Because, he did most of the killing,
Yeah.
right, guys?
Yep.
Remember that part?
We're calling that a trouble
Yeah.
hook
Killed
and not an
everybody?
anchor.
It's something. I don't know what it was. It was a hook.
I'm just assuming you're more knowledgeable than I am.
That's a bad assumption.
It's a jib. It's a jib.
No,
I
I
like
mean,
the cut of his
it's-
jib.
I don't think it was an anchor. But I think it was like a 3-prong grappling hook, I guess is the best way to put that. Anyway,
Probably something nautical.
Number 6. Fuck you, Todd.
No.
Number 6. I think maybe some of these accents aren't real.
You really think so?
Yeah, number 7. I hear there are 2 American girls in town looking for a good time. I'm gonna use that one at the bar next time I go out. Can you just walk up to girls and go, I hear there are 2 American girls in town looking for a good time?
Well, not in America.
Well, you could try it. Technically, you have the constitutional right to try it.
I'm going to give that one a shot. I think maybe. Oh yeah! Spoiler alert, guys. There are going to be a bunch of notes that start with the line. I think maybe. I think maybe I was drunk and thinking that I think maybe is a good way to start notes. I think maybe the way this movie is shot is making me seasick. Could be the high life too, though. Number 9. This guy is invoking some Tommy Wiseau vibes for me. Seriously, didn't that guy kind of remind you of Tommy Wiseau? Like,
Oh yeah.
hi, mermaid.
Hi, mermaid.
I did not hit the mermaid.
I did not do it. This is bullshit. I totally get how a foreigner would know Robert De Niro as Bobby. That makes complete sense to me. Oh, that was number 10. We're gonna skip that one, John. Don't worry. Number 11. He's just annoying. That's all. That's it. Oh, okay. So I'm just reading these with no context. I have absolutely no idea when I start my sentences why I wrote them. But
That's good. No, set that precedent because I have notes too.
Oh, good. Yeah. So our Tommy Wiseau analog had a line when he's talking about Boban, and he goes, "He's just annoying. That's all. That's it." And he just delivers it super straight, like he has no context for how English works, and it's hilarious. Next note. Oh, number 12. Farewell and adieu, all ye fair Spanish ladies. Farewell and adieu, all ye ladies of Spain. Next note. Robert Shaw is fucking awesome.
What?
That's not the guy that played Quinn?
Yeah. Next note.
Okay.
Yeah, good stuff. Next note. You go in the cage. Cage goes in the water. Sharks in the water.
Did you change movies?
Our shark. You know when a shark bites into you, your eye rolls back and it's all white. Yeah, no, Jaws is good. This movie sucked. Next.
Did we do the same thing with Sharknado?
Next note. We're gonna need a bigger well. That wasn't funny. Next note.
That's good. I liked it.
Next note. This fisherman has all the horror movie parts down. Walk slowly, be a terrible shot, have ambiguous motives, look exactly like Fidel Castro. Next note. Here's Castro. Next note. The mermaid seems hot. She needs more screen time. Right?
I
Anybody
agree.
else?
No,
I
I
think
agree.
I got the impression she had the most expensive per minute screen time.
Oh, exactly, and that's why she was not on the screen.
Yeah, that's right.
Yep.
Next note. I think maybe if Katy Perry... I think maybe, guys.
I think maybe.
Guys, I think maybe if Katy Perry were the mermaid, I would be uncontrollably drawn to her singing, too. Okay, good job, Eric. Next note.
Eric likes Katy Perry.
Yeah, are
I
you
do.
uncontrollably
Oh, man.
drawn to Katy Perry singing?
Kinda.
Well, that might be a whole separate issue.
Yeah, we'll get into that. Next note. At least she loves Bobby enough to punch him before he feeds himself to the mermaid. Okay, good note. Next note. How fast is a mermaid's metabolism? Why do they have to eat so much?
It's a valid question.
That's a good question.
Wonderful.
To put on any pounds.
Next note. If I was a mermaid, I would just eat pizza, not skanky Croatians.
Certainly wouldn't make for a different movie. Pizza Mermaid.
That actually would be an awesome movie.
You know,
I wouldn't be.
that raises an issue for me, actually, because do we know that that's what the mermaid wants to eat? She's in a
know,
well.
man.
She
That's
can
why
pretty
I was
much
so
only
pissed
eat whatever
off.
he
Look.
feeds her.
Great point, Todd, because the next note is pizza with anchovies, obvi.
Nobody likes anchovies. Not
No,
even
mermaids like
mermaids.
anchovies.
Sure they do.
I like anchovies.
I like anchovies too. You heard it here first, folks.
The next note, I think maybe dating a mermaid would be a lot like an episode of Flipper, except less sexy. I can't do a Flipper noise.
Nobody's asking you to.
I do like the fact that you sounded kind of like Popeye, though.
Oh boy. Next note, seriously, the cinematography in this movie makes it look a lot like it was shot on an iPhone. Like, the camera is just shaking around the entire movie like the guy that shot the movie had just seen Blair Witch and was like, oh, wow, we can do that? Let's do it!
There was a lot of that.
Wow, American movies are so good!
I also felt like it was grossly shot in TV safe zones. Like, everybody was always crowded towards the center of the screen.
Yeah. Well, it's because in Montenegro or Croatia or wherever they're going to show this movie.
Well, it showed in Ypsilanti last night. Thank you very much.
What? Todd, what movie theaters are you going to?
The one in my house.
Oh.
That's different.
I get it.
All right. Well, yeah, they don't have widescreen TVs. You've got to fit everything into the 4x3 screen format for them.
Guys, I just got a new American movie, Blair Witch on Betamax. Let's watch tonight.
We can learn all the tricks of American cinema and be huge!
Oh, I'm sure.
I will drink like 7 liters of beer.
I'm sure they have.
Like a real American cowboy! Yippee whippy!
Whippy!
I'm sure they have big screen TVs.
No, they don't.
Okay.
Guys, check it out. It's called GoPro. It is totally new, cool filming technology from America.
This will look good on my big screen TV. It's whole 6 inches!
Okay, so this next note, and it's a good thing I'm not doing numbers anymore because this one's definitely going to get cut. Fish are cold-blooded, right? So doing mermaid sex wouldn't be much different from my last girlfriend, right?
Oh.
Oh, that's staying in, and I hope she listens.
He was cold-blooded.
Was that
Check it
cathartic
and
for you?
see.
Do you feel better?
That joke was from 1989.
Eric's theoretical ex-district.
Okay, next note. Oh no, flashlight dying and Castro is walking. Oh shit! Next note. Oh shit! Raul Castro just showed up and saved the day. I guess Raul Castro was the original fisherman, and the other guy was Fidel.
What was with their flashlights like dying in tandem? It was like, oh, my flashlight is dying. Oh no, my flashlight is now dying.
Yeah,
too.
that's
The
some like
script called
generic
for
horror movie
darkness.
shit. That's some generic horror movie shit, and they're obviously just like clicking the button, the on-off button of the flashlight.
Yeah.
It was
Real
bad.
Real bad.
Next note: Viva Cuba.
Sounds like you were really enjoying yourself.
Next note: boy, that was a hell of a backstory, Raul. I guess when he was talking about World War II and having a great time.
Why didn't we get to see, why didn't they just make a movie of his shit?
Yeah, that'd be better.
And more entertaining
His
movie.
story was way more interesting.
It was.
The backstory did seem kind of interesting to this movie.
Yeah! Maybe
I don't usually endorse prequels, but
That's the Siren Wars. Oh!
So the prequel to this is just called Killer Maid, maybe? Next note, they're literally 5 feet from the dock and Raul Castro stops paddling.
right.
Next note, wow, Fidel is back. Apparently I just got into some kind of Cuba Fidel Castro mood at the end of this movie. But that guy did look exactly like Fidel Castro. I don't like they
Well,
had
I
to be a
thought
conscious
the
choice.
killer looked like the most interesting man in the world.
Yeah, no, the killer was Fidel fucking Castro. Like an exact
He
copy.
had the same affection for baseball, too.
Right.
You know, just like Fidel, he just won't die.
I
No, he's-
also think the killer in this movie died pretty quick once somebody actually made an attempt to kill him.
Yeah, like he was a perfectly mundane antagonist. He just was pretty good with his hook. You know?
And he was
Like,
also really good at getting around and sneaking up on people from rooms they were just in.
Right.
But I think that may have been an accident of editing.
Like he was really good. He was really good at finding people that were hiding in his own bedroom.
Right.
yeah.
That scene in the was he in the room the whole time when they were searching the
Yeah,
room?
what was that?
Yeah, probably. I mean,
They just didn't look
Fidel
there.
Castro is sneaky like that, Todd.
So, and what's the deal with them making a reference to "I know what you did last summer," and then the primary antagonist is basically the same formula as the killer in "I know what you did last summer"?
They
Like,
just got that movie in Croatia. It's a big deal.
No.
Let's watch Blair Witch Project, and I know what you're doing this summer.
Yeah, they have trouble with conjugation over there.
well.
The next note is I love how they set themselves up for a sequel because, this movie definitely needs a sequel. And my final note, that is probably definitely going to get cut because it's not funny. I did this joke earlier for my friend, and he did not like it. I think maybe... Call me Ishmael.
Really?
Yeah, that's fucking right. That's fucking right. I'm making a Moby Dick joke.
It's not bad. It's not bad because you let the rest of the joke write itself. It's not bad. You knew when to stop on that one.
Yeah.
I don't even remember. I'll give you props because you also wrote that drunk. Right?
I did rate that drunk. Thank you.
You'd be like, typical drunk joke would be like, what my DJ name is? Fuck you, that's what. Oh, I can't.
Queequeg.
All right, so those are my notes. Okay, so obviously, Killer Mermaid is stupid. Listeners at home, if you would like to watch this movie, gather a bunch of friends, have a bunch of drinks, and just put this on in the background because that's really all it's good for.
I don't think it's even good for that. It's not bad enough for that.
So, Chairman, I will cede the remainder of my time. Thank you.
Okay, well, I think, Todd, would you like to pick up from here?
Sure, I'll jump in there.
All right.
So yeah, this movie isn't bad enough for people to enjoy, ironically.
Yeah,
it's
probably
just,
not.
It's just mediocre, which to me kind of makes it worse than a really bad movie. Because if you're going to call a movie Killer Mermaid, the ironic hipsters are your built-in demographic.
Exactly.
So if you screw that up, then I don't know. It's very mediocre. Everything was mediocre. The production quality was mediocre. I just got a very made-for-TV movie vibe off the whole thing.
Absolutely.
And I thought that this was unrated. Does anybody think this would probably be a PG-13 movie?
No, they're boobs, man.
There were boobies. Exactly.
Too much boob.
And I had to keep reminding myself of that as I was watching it, because the boobies were only at the beginning.
Well, and that was like
you get a peek at the mermaid.
it was
boob
criminal
at the very
how
end.
little boob the mermaid showed. Like, come on.
But the rest of the movie, I mean, as far as like the special
Too
effects
expensive.
go, there were some mermaid effects. And I got the feeling that they spent all their money on the mermaid effects and then had nothing left in the budget for even like fake blood. There's no real gore in this movie.
Oh no. Well, I mean, his bathtub's bloody, kind of.
I guess. I mean, it's not. It's not
sort
that
of.
I need gore. I'm not somebody who likes gratuitous gore in a horror movie, but it seemed absent in this movie.
It is absent.
Like when he chops the girl's head off in the bathtub with the hatchet, and he takes like 7 or 8 whacks with that thing, and there's no blood
That's pretty
spray. There's supposed to be a blood spray at that point, right?
Yeah, we've all seen Patriot. We know what Mel Gibson looks like after doing that.
Yes, there was supposed to be a blood spray.
I don't know. I don't know. This was.
Oh, Todd, did this movie
was,
defeat you?
This movie, sort
Todd
of.
was defeated
well, let me
by
tell
the
you
Killer
something,
Mermaid.
okay? Just a little background on me to put this in context.
Oh, Todd wants to tell his whole backstory on one episode.
I make dad jokes, which I can do. I mentioned earlier, I can do this because I'm a dad, so I have the right and the privilege. The rest of you really have no excuse. I'm just putting that out there. But as a dad,
Wow,
this means that
thanks.
I might be
Thank
a dad.
you.
I don't know.
Hey, yeah.
I'm
I've
just
been pretty
saying,
reckless in my
I
time.
have the officially licensed dad joke book, and I don't know where you're getting your stuff from.
Hey, look, I've been running dad jokes straight from the mouth of my dad, so whatever.
Uh-oh.
But I mean, as I also get up really early for work, so in order for me to watch a grown-up movie, there's a very narrow window in which I'm ever going to do that. So
it's your weekly porn time,
right? Effectively, or I could have been watching Arrow. But the point is that no
AKA your
matter
weekly porn
how
time. Sorry.
bad this movie was, it was going to be the best movie that I've seen this week, and might be the best movie that I see for the entire month of March. That's just to put things into context.
I'm so sorry.
I don't know. You guys covered...
So, Todd, we should all get married and have kids, right? Is that something we should all do?
Sure.
Sounds like a great life.
Yeah, I'm endorsing it. That's what I'm trying to say.
Because,
I mean, if you want to
Killer
watch,
Mermaid is the best movie you'll see all month.
But under normal circumstances, I wouldn't have watched Killer Mermaid. I would have been watching Arrow. So you would watch less Killer Mermaids if you got married and had kids. I guess that's the upshot.
That's a perspective I had not thought of, Todd.
You're welcome. But yeah, the production quality on this movie wasn't terrible, but it wasn't good either. And can we clear something up? Where was this movie made?
It really seems like it was Croatia.
I thought it was
to me.
Serbian. I got from somewhere.
Serbian.
Yeah,
it
so
is.
Serbia and Croatia are right next door to each other, so it could be either or.
Listen, kiddies, Serbia's a long way from
okay,
Hollywood.
Montenegro
So maybe this really is
its
the
own
best
place.
they can do there.
I think it was actually. I think it's actually Montenegro, but Serbia, Montenegro, and Croatia all used to be Yugoslavia.
Right. So yeah.
Oh, I have a note here about the effects, about the fact that there was very little blood. Normally, you hear the expression that a horror movie has buckets of blood. This movie didn't have. Well, this movie had buckets of blood, but it had literally 2 buckets of blood that were only on screen for a very brief time.
I imagine that that actor poured the bucket down the well, and they cut, and they're like, "Dude, we needed that."
We gotta get this in one take. It's our last bucket of blood.
The mermaid model is too expensive. She won't even say any lines.
Those of you who are curious, it was filmed in Rose, Montenegro.
Oh,
Montenegro.
I see.
What up?
All right.
Montenegro.
Everybody else kind of covered the general things that I wanted to say about this movie, so I guess I have some notes. I have a lot of notes.
Wait, you had Katy Perry things to say too?
Not Katy Perry per se. I actually have 2
okay.
separate sets of notes. I have one set of notes that's just my thoughts, and then I have a much shorter list of notes labeled Chrissues, since I'm filling in for Chris this week. But I'll start with my random notes. Right off the top, did craft services get top billing on this movie? What the fuck is Jerry's Cater?
Yeah,
the
cater
caterer. Yeah, I'm so glad you brought that up. That was the first thing I noticed. I forgot. I was like, "Oh God, the caterer's got top billing." Oh no.
That's how you know it's a classy joint.
Yeah, they skimped. They gave them free food for advertising, and
My next note is an idiot abroad, which was a reference to the guy and the girl at the beginning, because I thought the guy looked like Carl Pilkington.
Of course.
Then, does she think he's being attacked by seaweed? When she was yelling for help, I thought it sounded like she was saying, "Kelp! Kelp!"
Help! Help!
And then my next note is, "We'll find someone for you. What about me?" "No, not you."
Yeah, he was looking for a 3-way there. He was he totally invited her over for a 3-way. That's what the whole point was.
My next note is, note to self, never wear plaid with stars and stripes.
how are people going to know
Yeah.
you're an American?
And then my next note is, I don't think I've ever even seen her in the water. Have you set a date for the wetting? Dad jokes. I can do that.
Dear
I have a
fucking
7-year-old.
God.
This stuff kills with him. Just saying.
Yeah, that's not really our target demo,
Are you
Todd,
sure?
so- Yeah.
I'm enjoying it.
Fuck yes, let's get those young
Yeah,
audiences.
we're a
Okay.
little bit more highbrow than that. We're
Now,
shooting for
my next
9.
note is a Jaws reference. I have a Jaws reference too. They can't go to the prison with his boat. He can't get close enough. They're going to need a smaller boat.
Oh, yeah.
And then my next note is, I'm sensing some overall disappointment about the prison. Why are they so keen to go to the prison? Especially the female lead. What is her obsession with going there? Is that ever explained in any way, shape, or form? She is
No.
Well,
she
that's
is
where the movie
petrified
takes
of
place.
water. She doesn't want to go in boats, but she is obsessed with getting to that prison, no matter what she's told about it.
I feel like she just wanted to have sex with Boban.
And the prison's the place to do it. Okay, I buy
Obviously.
Lots of privacy.
Yeah.
that.
Got plenty of
Maybe
showers.
prison sex is her kind of sex. I don't know.
All right,
Is that a thing?
prison sex.
I
Yes,
don't
John,
know.
prison sex is a thing.
Yes,
Okay.
yes, it is.
Okay, next note. They saw a wharf man drinking a pina colada at Trader Vic's. When they meet the fisherman in the bar.
That's a Warren Zevran dad joke. That's
I love
amazing.
it. I love it. Keep it coming.
My next note is, Sheesh, aren't warnings usually more cryptic than this? Like, the fisherman really kind of lays it all out for them right there in the bar.
He was remarkably
And,
straightforward with his
And
cryptic
they are not
warning.
at all deterred. And my next note is, best case scenario, it's covered in snakes. Worst case scenario, it's soaked in blood. Why do they want to go?
Even worst case scenario, blood snakes.
Oh, no!
My next
Well,
note
that
is
can't
note
be
to
a
self, Wikipedia Serbia. I haven't done that yet.
I Wikipedia Yugoslavia to learn about this movie.
So, Todd, if you Wikipedia Serbia, you will find out that it has no aquatic borders. It is landlocked.
Oh, fascinating.
Yeah, because if this is really a Serbian movie, where did they film
Because
it?
I was thinking,
Montenegro!
It's
I didn't know
Montenegro.
about the Montenegro aspect. I was under the impression that it was filmed in Serbia, and the whole time I was thinking, well, it's really beautiful. Maybe I'd like to go to Serbia.
Yeah, no.
I thought that
that's,
too.
That's Croatia and Montenegro, that area.
Well, my next note is, he's gone. He's not gone. He literally just walked off screen. Like, the instant he walks off screen, the guy goes, relax, he's gone. And
It's like Eddie Murphy at the barbecue. It's like, how did he's within your sight line still. We just can't see him. Like,
And then my next note is related to that, but it's actually referring to the guy who was hiding in the water with the gash on his knee. My note is, I'd stay hidden just a little longer. Just a little longer. I'd hang out down there just a little bit. He immediately pokes his head up, and I don't understand why it doesn't get blown off.
Yeah.
yeah.
That's a
And then my next note, this is where I started to lose it towards the end. My next note is, how are people all over the everywhere? I can't keep track of where anyone is at any time throughout this entire movie. I have no sense of the scale of the prison. I don't understand where anybody is.
well, they're all in the bedroom.
And then I have just 2 more notes. My next note is, I've got your friend's head. I'll just be over here if you need me, mosey. And then
and sure did he mosey.
my final note is actually something salient. It goes back to whether or not the characters are well written. It's at what point did they decide the girl in the well wasn't it? It was a little thing that really stuck in my craw. The female lead, who has been pushing for them to go back all along, go back to the well, we gotta go back and rescue that girl. So we're supposed to think they're going back to rescue a person who's trapped in a well. And as they're approaching it, and she starts singing, and the man starts to become entranced, before they've looked into the well and discovered it's the mermaid, she says, "What is it doing to you? Well, why isn't it now?"
Bad, right?
Right.
There was.
Wow, I did not even
catch that. There were a
catch
couple
that.
of lapses like that. Like the point where, well, not to get too much into it, but there's one point where that same girl goes, "Hey, do you remember when I told you about that guy who I saw in the tunnel? That's the same guy." She never told them that.
That's right.
But
Oh yeah. Mm-hmm. She just saw it. She just saw him. Like,
she never actually told them, though. Yeah.
Okay, so I know that was a lot of stuff. But I also have just 4 notes on a list labeled Crissues that I think I should
By all
probably
means,
cover
sir.
in honor of your fallen comrade.
Well, it's not fun, but you know, in honor of our comrade who's about to have a birthday tomorrow. Happy birthday,
I miss
Chris.
Chris so much
Chris,
since he died.
Chris, you're my boy!
Oh, such a tragic
Yeah,
death.
it was really hard for all of us.
Yeah, the funeral was
I got
lovely,
over
though.
it
Chris,
pretty quickly,
Chris
I
is
have to
alive
admit.
and lives on in all of us.
Eric's having such a hard time. I just feel so much for him.
But my first Chrisu is, did they put music on? I didn't see anyone put music on. When the girls start dancing at the party, they're like, come on, let's dance. And they all start dancing, and there's no music when they first start dancing. And then at some point, the music just
they
comes
did
on.
put music on. No, they
No.
put it on. Like, they go over to the iPad and put it on. They really do, yeah. Yes.
Okay, fine.
I'm not watching it again to verify.
Neither
that.
am I. I'm going to accept that. That's valid. So, okay,
It's a trick.
that Chrisu is crossed off.
Yep, they put it on.
My next Chrisu is the don't see the thing you're taking a picture of until you see the picture trope, which the girl does with the cell phone at the well.
Yeah.
She doesn't see the mermaid in the well until she looks at the picture. Okay,
I think that's how every single picture of a UFO has
this
worked.
is a trope that they used to do in old Hollywood movies, and it created for a really dramatic moment in the movie, and it worked because of the technology that they were working with. The person would take the picture, and they would go back to the dark room, and they would develop the picture, and as the image resolved, there's the revelation. This doesn't work.
Yeah, we reviewed a movie
This
like
doesn't
that.
work when you're taking a picture with a cell phone camera. Because you are looking at the picture you're taking when you take the picture. There's no way she took that picture and didn't see that mermaid.
Flash, maybe.
She didn't use the flash. There was no flash.
Okay.
They did that exact thing in The Awakening, where she has to go back to the red room, you know, the dark room, and develop the picture. And oh no!
The one I'm thinking of is Muppets Take Manhattan. I don't know why. That's what I'm going with. Or maybe that was the Great Muppet Caper.
That classic horror movie.
But anyway, this is a side note, but speaking of taking the picture of the well, no, you don't have to go take a picture of the evidence before you go to the police. If there's forensic science, there's all kinds of stuff. You don't have to do that. I mean, what kind of Scooby-Doo bullshit was that?
Zoinks, yo.
My next Chrisu is our hero is the Flash. What's the gentleman's name? The long, scraggly-haired man?
Boban.
Thank you. Boban. When the killer slaps his knee, Boban falls back against the wall. The killer is still standing there. He gets distracted for a minute by the girl. You see Boban start to stand up. The next shot is the killer turning to look. And Boban's already like 50 yards down, so far down that he's out of focus because he's out of the shot now. How did he move so fast? With a cut knee. That was amazing. And my final issue was hiding under a ledge, can see on top trope. When you're hiding under a ledge, you can't see the person standing on the ledge above you. And I'll allow it that they do it in a lot of movies. They even did it in Lord of the Rings, but they do it here again. He's watching the killer looking down over the ledge trying to find him from underneath the ledge, and he knows when the guy's gone because he's watching from underneath the ledge. There's a ledge in the way. You can't see him.
And if you can see him, he can see you.
Maybe he had his eyes closed.
Todd, will you only
Oh,
allow
yeah.
for this trope to be a thing because it happened in Lord of the Rings?
No, I'm allowing for it because everybody does
Oh,
it.
okay. I was just
No,
wondering if Lord of the Rings had like some kind of special like carte blanche in your eyes.
I'm not saying the trope is okay. I'm allowing that it's something that's done by everybody. It's not just a sin of this movie.
Okay.
Surfing giant elephants, that can be okay.
But under a ledge looking up, bullshit.
So is that all you got, Todd?
That's about all I got. I think, aside from okay, I have a joke here that it's very obscure. It's a very obscure reference, but I think I have to do it because I know at least one person who'll get it, and she's very special to me.
Is it your wife?
Yes.
Okay.
I'd be worried if it wasn't.
But it's very obscure. I'm going to throw it out there and then I'll explain it. So, that creature in the well, what is it? It's you, Janet Reachfar. It was you all along. Does anybody else know who Janet Reachfar is?
No.
Okay, Janet Reachfar, the short version, it's a series of children's books. And one of them was Janet Reachfar in the Kelpie. And it's about this girl who lives on this Irish farm or something. And the farmhands scare her by telling her stories about a Kelpie that lives in the well. That is this horrible, twisted female creature that will drag you down and drown you if you look into the well. And eventually she goes and looks into the well, and she sees the Kelpie, and she freaks out. And long story short, it turns out that it was just her reflection. And as her mother explains, the Kelpie looked horrible and ugly to her because it was the reflection of an ugly girl who'd broken the rules.
That's wonderful.
But that brings me to another note that I had skipped over, which is, holy shit, this movie works if the mermaid is a Kelpie. I'm sold if the mermaid is a Kelpie.
Right, because Kelpies eat people.
Right. And the Kelpie is horrible
don't
and
they
hideous.
also
And the
have
Kelpie
horse
has
heads?
legs. The Kelpie has legs and can get out of the well and chase you.
Yeah, Kelpies are often depicted as sort of like water horses.
Yeah, they have like horse heads.
Carnivorous horses that live in the water. It's horrifying. Carnivorous horses, period, is horrifying.
Oh, also, one final note. I feel this would have been more satisfying if the mermaid had somehow exploded at the end.
Well, we have a long-standing rule on John Hates Movies that everything is improved with a gremlin's death.
Right.
Yeah, man. If it's not melting, they're not doing it right.
So
that's part of Leprechaun.
Todd, before this episode happened, you were exclusively known to our listeners as Sequel Todd.
Yes, and I'm so glad that didn't catch on.
Well, Todd, I want to know, this movie at the end set itself up for a sequel. What do you think the sequel will be like?
Would I watch the sequel? Is that the question?
Yeah. Well, what do you think of the sequel? You've already seen it, right? You've seen every sequel.
Well, I've imagined it. I've imagined the sequel where they just stand on the beach and stab mermaids in the head for 5 minutes and it's over. And if they don't make that movie, then I'm going to be disappointed.
Wonderful.
All right. So, James, what have you got for us this week?
This movie, yeah, as you guys have all said, it was too good.
Good's not the word, but
just yeah, it was surprisingly competent, and it was unfortunate that it was so competent. There was very little in the movie to actually laugh at. I feel like the entire thing was just like paint by numbers, paint by number horror movie. They have a formula and they followed it perfectly. And if they didn't try to do more than the very basics, then it would have probably actually ended up watchable, forgettable, but watchable.
Right.
Yeah. But as it was, I think I had more fun watching my new cat. And my cat, his name is Francois Philippe de Leon.
Yeah, a both Spanish and French name at the same time.
So, could you review your cat for us?
Yeah, his name is Francois Philippe de Leon III, and it's great because he's got a lot of nicknames. I Fancy Pants or Stanky Frank, and or when my personal favorite, Frank Underwood.
Yes.
Like that show.
Yeah.
Good.
Jesus Christ, I'm dying to this week. He was just a little too affectionate. Anyway, so yeah, there's just a couple things in this movie that were actually kind of funny and were worth noting.
Name them.
Yeah, the at the almost in the beginning when they're having their first get together and they're all sitting around drinking, and the dude's girlfriend is immediately like, "So you guys fucked?" And then they're like, "That is really inappropriate." And then she's like, "Okay, let's dance."
Yeah. Girlfriend just seems sort of like a dangerous alcoholic psychopath in the beginning. I was pretty sure this movie was going to be that she was actually the Killer Mermaid.
I was pretty sure she was going to turn out to be Vulcan.
No, the whole point of her being in the movie was that she dies. That's the whole point of her being in the movie.
That's kind of the point of all of the characters.
Killer fodder.
Although the makers did attempt to spend the first 30 minutes of the movie building character.
Attempted.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, all those characters were cut and paste. You had the girl who was afraid of water because water.
It's a water movie, yes.
It's a water movie, yeah.
And if this was a bug movie, she would have been traumatized by bugs.
Yep.
The song at the beginning was fucking ridiculous and awesome.
That was so awesome. That's why I thought this was going to be
adventure.
That's why I thought it was going to be so bad it's good. Like, because that opening was like, it was like a terrible Euro trash music video.
Oh, God.
The lyrics were clearly not written by a native English speaker.
No.
No.
And nobody kisses that much. Nobody.
Yeah, no. That's why I was getting Tommy Wiseau vibes all over the place in this movie.
Yeah, I'm like, dude, you cast your friend so that he can make out with that chick. That's what happened there.
Well, yeah. So, like I said, the movie was fairly mediocre, and the effects were surprisingly good. They were better than John Dies at the End, which is another movie that tried.
To the extent that this movie had effects.
Yeah, well, yeah. one mermaid. Yeah, but still, that.
Yeah, really, was that the only effect in the movie? Was the mermaid?
Yeah.
There was some stab through effects that were actually CG, but they did what they were supposed to do, so you didn't really notice that they were not practical effects.
A lot of stuff happened off screen too, which is okay if you're Hitchcock and you're doing it, pointedly. I think they were doing it to save money.
Like people's heads were happening off screen when those people were swimming, so you knew that it was not that actor swimming.
I was actually kind of okay with the movie up until the very end when Captain Exposition just started rambling off about everything. And then the movie just goes like hard into amateur, I never been to film school, but I'm gonna make a movie. I'll show all you bastards. You don't know what the fuck you're talking about. I could just get a camera and make a movie, like level of filmdom, when the captain, in the most unsuspense or excitement building moment of the film, slowly moseys up to the mermaid with a pitchfork in his hand and quotes Moby Dick, probably the best line from Moby Dick, and then just lazily stabs her.
He's like,
From hell's heart I stab at thee gently.
Yep. Here you go. Here's your spork.
Here you go.
Would you just open up your ribs real quick and I can slide this in? Just, slide
This
that
movie
in there.
started and ended on a Melville quote. So do you think they were trying to elevate the cultural meaning of the film?
Give it a little bit of gravitas.
Yeah.
I feel like the entire thought just was like, well, Moby Dick's on water and this movie's on water. Oh,
Yeah.
Jaws is about
No.
a fish and this is kind of about a fish.
Just like the cinematography style, they had just now gotten Moby Dick in
Oh, come on. I would have been much more impressed had they opened with a Waterworld quote.
That would have been cool. That would have been
That
funny.
might have been more apropos.
But yeah, I think that's it.
Okay, James.
I got nothing.
That was like the most half-hearted of all time.
I know. Well,
Dave,
from
I think
Hell's
Dave
Heart,
was
he
expressing the way
stabs
this
at
movie
me.
really made us all feel. Like it was hard to even get worked up and have like an angry rant about this movie because it wasn't bad enough.
It's just...
This podcast ending on my review was a bad choice. It fizzled out just like the movie. Just like the movie, you end with the most, the guy with the least
ambivalent.
amount of charisma right now. Or entertainment value.
I stab at thee.
Well, can I
From
point out
Hell's Heart, I
something?
take a stab at this fucking review. Jesus.
You guys, can I just throw in a public service announcement here? Something I forgot
Sure.
to mention earlier. If you're hiding from or running from a killer at night, turn off your flashlight. Turn off your flashlight
idea.
and learn to see. Because your eyes will adjust. Whereas if you have a flashlight, everything outside that cone of light you're completely blind to, and I can see you from a mile away.
Todd, I have a
That's speaking from
feeling.
experience.
So if you're
So
running
Todd
from a
is trying to
killer
kill you.
or Todd,
Right, because if
Yes.
you're shining a flashlight around, not only do I know where you are, and I know you can't see me, but I know which direction you're facing, kid. I'm going to come right up behind
Yep.
you and put an anchor through your neck.
No, we'll hear the chip bags crinkling, and that'll be your
Oh,
giveaway.
man, did you have to bring that into this?
I have a feeling that all of the people all the victims in horror movies aren't listening to you right now. but I don't know why.
But that's okay. I don't care about people in horror movies. I'm thinking about my friends who might one day find themselves in a similar situation. And I know they'll
Being
be smart
chased
enough
by
to
Todd.
remember. Sequel Todd said, turn off my flashlight.
I want that on a
Oh,
t-shirt.
there it is. Todd owning the nickname.
And I want it on a t-shirt. Sequel Todd said, turn off my flashlight. Okay. Well, I'll bring us home here. Yeah, pretty much everything has been said about Killer Mermaid. I had a very interesting experience myself watching this. I haven't been feeling all the way up to speed. So I was a little groggy when I started this film. And I would fall asleep while it was running. So I'd wake up. And it would be at a much later point. So I would immediately have to rewind it to
missed nothing.
Yes.
try and find out where I was, which created this very weird sense of time distortion and deja vu. So this movie was perhaps even a little bit more fucked up than perhaps intended.
But that's how I felt watching it, and I sat through the entire thing.
That's exactly how I experienced Good Burger, John.
That's how I remember. I had a really bad fever when we watched The Untouchables, and I had to rewatch it because I thought it was my delirium that caused me to think it was so bad, and then I realized it was just
No,
bad.
The Untouchables is terrible.
It is. It's really bad.
So, I had a little bit of weirdness going on while I was watching this movie, but for the most part, I picked up on the same thing that everybody else did. It is not absolutely terrible, but it is kind of a sad attempt. So the whole thing just kind of feels like you can get some moments from it. I think that this would be one of those things where you could effectively cut out one or two sections of it and have a funny, oh my god, look how bad this movie is, YouTube conglomeration kind of thing. But as a whole, the whole damn movie is just incredibly sad and boring.
Mm-hmm.
And that's really what it is. It's boring. This is not your Leprechaun. This is, but nor is it, I don't know.
Name anything good.
This is not the awesome, terrible find. But then again, I've never really been one of those people that's ever been a so bad it's good. For that, you pretty much have to go to my brother. And if my brother isn't feeling it, then really there's nothing here to be felt. So
Can I make a quick recommendation?
Yes.
If you are that type of person, you want a movie that's so bad it's good and is entertaining and is a great party movie to kind of put on and get really drunk with your friends. Mutant Girl Squad. It's on Netflix, and I don't think you can do any better.
Mutant Girls Squad.
Not Killer Mermaid.
See, that sounds awesomely awful.
Oh,
It
it's
sounds
fucking
awful.
great.
And Killer Mermaid, the name of Killer Mermaid, sounded awesomely
It sounded
awful.
awful.
Yes.
That's the thing. Killer Mermaid even failed at being awful.
Yeah. It was just nothing.
It was just sad. It was just genuinely sad. This was, it was somebody's best attempt, and you felt that. You felt that it was somebody's best attempt, and it just kind of made you feel sorry.
Yes.
Yep. So that's pretty much it for Killer Mermaid. So go instead watch Mutant Girl Squad.
Mutant Girl Squad!
That's John Hates Movies' official recommendation. Colin, is there anything that you'd like to say about your choice, Killer Mermaid, before we leave it?
Dear Killer Mermaid, I want to express my feelings about the time we've spent together. I know it's kind of moot now, but I've got to get this off my chest. The fact is, you're not as lousy as I thought you'd be. Almost, but not quite. Watching you was kind of like dating somebody who's hot, but super crazy. At first I thought, oh man, this is going to be great. But at every turn I just started thinking, why am I here? What am I doing? I should know better. Believe it or not, I enjoyed watching you for some reason, and I'll be thinking about you as time goes by. Probably because I like salty old sailors with grumbly voices. And monsters. What I really feel bad about is the girl who was cast on the basis that she was the girl willing to take off her shirt in Killer Mermaid. I'll never forget you, Alan McMillan.
So we're going to take a little break here, and we will be right back.
Are people taking you too seriously at work? Are all your conversations bland and tasteless? Do people run away when you approach the water cooler? Just get yourself a Tally-Ho mug from the John Hates Movies store, and people will instantly recognize that you are one badass dude. Tally-Ho is copyright Eric Largent 2015. All others saying Tally-Ho are imitating Eric Largent. Do not make Tally-Ho your thing. That is Eric's thing. But please buy a mug. Get yours today!
You can reach the John Hates Movies merchandise store by going to our Facebook page and clicking on the Shop Now button. Or you can just manually go there by typing in www.cafepress.com/John Hates Movies, all one word, into your browser. Welcome back, everybody. It is now time for the game. Last week's winner was Colin. So, Colin, you are running the game this week.
Hello.
What have you got for us?
Well, this week we have a new game called Clickbait.
What?
Yes.
All right.
I have written synopses of movies in the form as if they were headlines from clickbait articles.
Awesome.
Yeah.
So when I read,
Yes.
I will read the headline, and our contestants will buzz in, just like before. Your buzzer is your name. For instance, if Todd wants to buzz in, he will shout Todd, and then he gets his
I'm
answer.
playing. What?
Yeah, because if you win, you get to pick a
Oh,
movie.
shit.
Oh shit!
guy.
American game.
That's wild. I'm all for it.
Like I said, buzz in with your name. Because we haven't done clickbait before, we're going to run without handicaps this time. So,
Okay.
Typically we've given Eric a handicap on quiz games, but I'm not sure. Some of these will be difficult to get, so I'm wondering how we'll do. Is anybody? I don't know. I better keep score, otherwise it's not fail. Sorry, give me a second to set up a scorecard here.
Well, we gave you all yesterday.
Oh God, what was I thinking? I should never have bought Final Fantasy VI.
Colin, I loved the subtle shout out to my excellence.
Oh yeah,
When did you buy Final Fantasy VI? 1989?
Right.
Well, I just bought it again on PlayStation Network because I had a bad week and wanted a toy. So, alrighty, it's time to play clickbait. So, your first movie synopsis, and your first movie synopsis is as follows. When a plus-size model made her sign a contract, this spoiled teenager was left literally speechless.
John.
John?
The Little Mermaid.
Correct.
Yeah. Oh.
Very good.
Yeah. Yep.
So it's
Yep.
not
I-
necessarily
yep, I
movies
can
that
hear
we
that.
watch.
Oh
on
no,
the
I'm sorry. I
podcast.
should have stipulated that. No, these are either movies we've reviewed or well-known movies. There's nothing super obscure that we haven't seen on here, but some of them we have not reviewed. I'm sorry, I should have said that before. Okay, number 2. John's in the lead with 1 point. I was in tears as I witnessed how this police officer reacted to the death of his wife and son. Simply breathtaking.
Eric.
James.
Mad Max.
Correct.
Oh shit! Yeah, you would have got that anyway. Okay.
He
What
deserves
was
to get
James's
that.
answer? What was James's answer?
I was gonna go with 7,
Oh.
but he didn't.
You know,
his kid didn't die. It was just his wife.
but there may be a number of movies that could apply.
I suppose.
Still waiting for the sequel. 8.
Okay.
Finally, a joke that got a laugh.
Number 3. One small town found a way to fend off an alien invasion.
Eric.
You won't believe what happens next. Eric.
Yeah. Grabbers.
Correct. All right.
Oh yeah. Welcome to Eric not working under a handicap.
Uh-oh. Eric has 2, John has 1. The other boys are taking up the rear. Number 4. This family refused to conform, even when they
Eric.
were shunned. Their story will change your life.
The Addams Family.
Okay.
What?
Damn it! That's horse
Wait a
shit.
minute.
He's fucking psychic or
Did
something.
Colin say we're taking it up the rear?
Well, Number
Yeah,
5. Scientologists hate him.
Eric.
Learn to make drinks out of fuel oil with this one weird trick.
I already said Eric. The master.
Come on!
Jesus!
Number 6. One of our human slaves unplugged himself, and this happened.
John!
John.
The Matrix.
I can't believe it. Yes, The Matrix.
Damn it!
Number 7. She found an unexpected guest in her basement, and now her life will never be
James.
the same. James.
Leprechaun.
Correct.
Yay, a point!
All right. Number 8. His last words left people stunned. Wait until you hear
John.
what he meant, John.
Citizen Kane.
Correct.
Whoa!
I was gonna get that one.
All right.
Whoa.
Only 2 more.
Wait. What's the score?
Currently, Eric has the lead with 4. John has 3.
I have 4?
Yes. John has
shit.
3. James has 1.
And we don't
Todd,
have to say my score.
Interesting strategy, Meter. Let's see how it works out for
I feel
him.
Meter
handicapped because some of
is
these are
at
movies you
0.
reviewed, and I didn't review them.
Oh, that's.
I'm
okay,
going to
that's
lean
fair.
on that.
That's the ticket. Yeah. Number 9. All he wanted was to serve his country, and thanks to science, he can. My jaw
John.
drops. John.
No, I was there first.
Captain America.
Damn you!
It is Captain America. Correct.
Oh,
Oh man, tie game between John and Eric.
Fuck.
James with 1 point. It is not James's night on the podcast.
No.
All right, the final clue, number 10. When this retired pastor met a crook with a disabled brother, something truly magical happened.
Okay, could we hear that again?
When this retired pastor met a crook with a disabled brother, something truly magical happened.
John.
Don.
Oh. Do I lose points if I answer incorrectly?
No, you don't.
I was gonna say Les Miserables, but I know that's
It is not correct. It's not correct.
Oh shit! Retired.
When this retired pastor met a crook with a disabled brother, something truly magical happened. Wow. Okay. The movie is From Dusk Till Dawn.
Oh, you
right.
guys watched that movie. Are you kidding?
No, we didn't.
Oh.
Wow.
I'm surprised
So-
nobody got that.
Eric
Wow.
and I are tied.
Yes, we have a tie game. John and Eric are tied with 4 points each. And I don't have a tiebreaker.
So,
I-
for the in the
I
case of a
thought-
tie, I think that the person who has scored the no points gets to choose.
You mean
No.
gets to choose the winner?
Well, that's not what I was going with, but that does sound
well,
more fair than what I had in mind.
So John has had the more recent win on John Hayes movies.
Oh, okay.
That
The
is
lobbying
true.
begins.
Well, let me throw this
Yeah.
out
Oh,
there.
boy.
I haven't won since Headhunters.
Guys, you will get a fucking couple of the answers right.
Fuck you!
Why don't
Okay,
you both
okay,
tell us what
okay.
the
It's easy
picks
when you're
are, and then
smart.
I pick the movie that doesn't
There's-
suck?
Oh, okay.
We could do that.
We could do that. Yeah.
Okay, yeah. You know what? We've never done that before. Tell
That's
me your
gonna
picks,
cause
and I will,
controversy.
I will be the arbiter of justice.
Okay.
Okay.
I already know what my pick was going to be.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
So so there have been a couple of actors in Hollywood that everybody knows who recently have just been like making movies for the sake of making movies. One of them was Liam Neeson. The other is Nicolas Cage. These two motherfuckers are just fucking making movies because, you know, they need paychecks. So I was going to pick Rage by Nicolas Cage.
Wait, it's by Nicolas Cage?
Well, Rage with
Okay.
Nicolas Cage.
I think
Rage.
that's an important distinction to make.
Yeah, yes, it is. Yes.
All
it is.
right, Johnny, make your case.
My case is that I was going to pick off the listener suggestion.
Oh,
Were you gonna
boy.
pick my wife's
Oh,
movie?
No.
Does she have a movie on there?
Huh?
Yeah.
Your
Does
wife's
she
movie?
have a movie on there?
She does.
Oh, I forgot to make up that I always just arbitrarily can pick the winner, and the rules
I
don't
think
matter.
I think that under any circumstances you should arbitrarily pick the winner who is going to choose a listener suggestion as fan service. And I have no ulterior
Bullshit.
motive for saying that.
Says the fan. Yeah, says the fan.
Well, I do like the listener suggestions, it's true. Just for the sake of curiosity, James, did you have a movie that you were going to pick?
Yeah.
What was it?
It was gonna be Wolf of Wall Street.
James is the winner.
What? No, I mean, come on!
Eric, I am not watching
Well
this
played,
movie
James.
sober.
Well
Get
played.
me the fucking lewds!
Well, okay.
A stunning
This-
come from behind victory for James Barrett.
Has anybody else, have we all seen Wolf of Wall Street?
No, I haven't.
But it's a fucking great movie.
Oh, it sure is. It's good.
I'm gonna watch it again because I fucking love it.
You know, I win the rink game so rarely that when I host the game, I go on like a total power trip. And I'm just gonna say that James is the winner because I am the decider. I'm the decider, and James Barrett is the winner.
I guess
Mission
you can
accomplished.
do that.
Mission accomplished. I hope you enjoyed Clickbait. I hope that we can do it again.
Yeah, I did. That was a good game. Despite
I
the
bet
fact
you
that
did.
I
You
sucked
sucked
at it.
Yeah. Just
Don't get upset, James. You won.
Robbed. We were robbed.
You
You're
were definitely robbed.
Your sucking at this game was no handicap in winning it.
So everyone, next week we are going to be reviewing The Wolf of Wall Street. VOD!
get the loot!
I feel like Eric and I have beef now.
Well, I'm not saying. Well, you did kind of steal that from him and give it to James.
Oh yeah. Yes.
I tied?
Good.
I tied?
I also stole it from John.
That's right.
Eric and John are now nothing but also ones.
I'm certainly not an also one. I've won the most on this podcast.
Yeah.
Well, yeah.
That's why it's okay that Colin just stole a win from me because I've already won the most, so it doesn't matter.
There are no winners in this podcast. We all watched Killer Mermaid.
Yep.
Oh.
Well, thank you very much for joining us, and we'll see you next week for The Wolf of Wall Street. And should be business as usual.
And
You know why you say that everything is normal?
Tune in next week to hear John say the Wolf of Wall Street
The Wolf
again.
of Wall Street.
Hey, guys.
The Wolf
I
of Wall
have
Street.
a JHM-centric dad joke. It's real quick. Do you mind?
Okay.
So, what do
No,
you
go ahead.
By all means.
call it when James washes dishes during a movie and therefore doesn't watch the movie but still gives the movie a bad review?
What?
It's a dishpan.
Oh.
That's it. I'm out of here. Thank you and good night.
Good night, everybody.
A great big thank you to our staff graphic artist, Tabby Walters, the Weekly Cast, and our listeners. You can listen to our podcast on iTunes, the Stitcher app, through YouTube, or directly on our website. Feel free to send us a movie review suggestion. Every third episode is Listener Appreciation, where we choose from your suggestions. You can reach us through social media, either by liking our Facebook page, John Hates Movies YouTube channel, or following our Twitter at John Hates Movies. Our music was composed by Kevin MacLeod. You can find this track and many more on his website, Incompetech.com. Thanks for listening, and tune in next week to hear someone say,
Who am I? I'm not Chris Arsenault. No. That's all I got.
okay.